Hey, what's up? It's Rick Dees. And the day my life got organized is the day I met Dr. J. Lamar Gray. Wait a minute, stop everything. He's number one.
Hello, everybody. Dr. J here, doing an impromptu exclusive show right now with my good friend. I think he's my good friend. He's a comic. He's an author. He's a cancer survivor. He's a family man, all around good guy. His name is Stevie D. What's going on, Stevie D?
And troublemaker. Well, dude, I'm honored. Someone has blown up, gone viral. My kids are sending me TikTok video that you're in this little clip, and I'm actually not, and I'm in it this big. But my man, Dr. J, how many million views now?
I don't know how many million views, but I think I've hit about 1 million, I think, views on YouTube. Last I checked. Not that I'm interested in that type of thing. Come on now, I'm just a regular guy. But
it's a pat on the back, though, man. You deserve it. You deserve it, buddy.
You were one of the people that reached out to me and let me know that I was going viral. And you said your kids sent you a video of you. And
yes.
People who know the video. Somebody came up to me in Costco. I'm supposed to have them on the show very soon. So you got a call. They woke you up like Christmas morning?
Oh, I'm eating breakfast across from my son. He goes, of course, they don't act excited about anything, but Daddy, look at the video I just sent you. And I look, and then I thought he messed with me. I thought somehow he knew I was on your podcast a couple times. So I thought he had put a clip of me on your podcast over that video of the guy approaching you. So I'm like, how'd you do that? And he goes, I just sent it to you. What do you mean? I just, just hit send. And then my daughter comes down the stairs and says, I was about to send you that. And then I just start getting bombarded. I guess it went viral, went crazy. And so, yeah, I'm sure you're tired of talking about it, but you were approached by this dude in Costco.
This kid in Costco approached me, and he said he was a fan and of my podcast. It turns out that he had these glasses on with a camera in it. I don't know exactly. When I have him on the show, he'll explain it. And he was videotaping me without, look at me, my old ass videotaping me. He was recording me. He didn't have the big fat camcorder on his shoulder, but he was recording me on some type of joy baiting situation. And he targeted me in Costco, my sons. And then next thing I know, I found out because I had a friend. It turns out the kid who did this is a former student of a buddy of mine who teaches at Mount Sac College.
Okay.
So he reached out to me and said, big brother Jake, I'll give him props. A good friend. I worked in radio with him back in the day with the Dodgers. And he said, did you know about this? I said, no. And I'm like, what the hell? This kid recorded me. And then next thing I know, my social media was going crazy. My niece reached out to me, and you reached out to me because you're part of the video. When he does this facial ID thing and I pop up on his computer, it's the one with the interview you and I did like last year, I believe.
Yeah.
And so, but mine got famous and you didn't.
You get a shout out.
You got a shout out.
I'm shadow banned. We were just talking. I was like, dude, I've got friends with millions and millions of followers. We do comedy shows together. They give me shout outs and put me on their story and crickets, but I don't care, man. It's all good.
Well, we're going to change that right now. Give your Instagram, Stevie D Rocks, right?
Stevie D Rock.
Follow Stevie D. I'm Dr. J. Dr. J approved. Follow him right now and bust his shadow ban or whatever it is. Now, enough about me. Enough about Dr. J, okay?
More about Dr. J.
You live in Nashville. I haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on in Nashville? You left LA for the bright, shiny lights of Nashville.
I'll tell you what, my heart right now, and I wish I was in Los Angeles because it is 9,000 degrees here. Humid. You don't know humidity. You in the South. And I grew up in Kentucky on food stamps, and we would lay in the floor. We had a concrete floor just to get 3 degrees cooler. So, dude, it's all coming back, man. I have PTSD from mowing yards back in the day. But it is super hot. I miss California weather. I don't miss the craziness. But yeah, man, it's super hot.
And some exciting things are happening out here in LA. You're a comic and everything. You know, the the Cinerama Dome is
Ramadan.
reopening up on Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood or Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I get it
Is
confused.
it?
One of those. I think
Yeah,
it's
is it Hollywood
Sunset.
Boulevard or
Hollywood
Sunset? Yeah,
Boulevard.
it's way down.
Same
Yeah,
difference. If you
down
go
by
the
the
wrong
Palladium.
way, you'll go down. And they're reopening. Have you ever? I grew up in LA, and I've never been to a movie in there, but you have, right?
Dude, I used to go because I'm old school. I love old comedy, 50s, 60s, you know, all the old school Hollywood, all of Tarantino's stuff. I get all the references. I geek out on
I
that
love it.
stuff. But in
Hmm.
the summer, they would do Hollywood classics in the Cinerama Dome. So for the first, I didn't want to see Citizen Kane, Casablanca, all of these classic movies on
Uh-huh.
TV because they weren't made to be shown on a small screen. There
No.
was, you know, Cinescope or whatever it's called, like Ben-Hur. If you see it on TV, these classics like that, Ten Commandments, they're cutting out like 20% on each side.
Uh-huh.
There could be some chariot stuff going on over here and fights, and you were missing everything. So in the summer at the Cinerama Dome, they would have these classics. So I saw Citizen Kane and all these classics at the Cinerama Dome. So I'm like, you know, stoked that it's reopening, as the Egyptian did too, right?
I
The Egyptian
believe
did.
so. I have to fact check that one, but a lot
Yeah, I
of theaters
think.
are starting to reopen and trying to get that experience again.
Well, a friend of mine, Lorraine Nicholson, drop that name. Her dad's kind of
Lorraine,
famous,
hi
Nicholson.
Lorraine Nichols.
Nicholson. Uh, but she just did a fundraiser, I think, last week at the Westwood. Is it the Bruin Theater that was they were trying to tear down? And she
Yeah,
did a big
there's
fundraiser.
yeah, and it's closed still, I think, because I was over there not like last week, and it's still closed and kind of like boarded up a little bit.
Okay, so I think they're going to renovate that. It's going to be
I hope
reopening.
so. I hope
She did
so.
it. Yeah,
That's a great place to go see movies at. And a lot of people are trying to open these small theaters, which is good for more independent stuff because it seems like we're seeing a lot of superheroes and animation. The last 5 movies I went to with my sons is all superhero animation. I haven't seen an independent, character driven comedy or drama in so long. And I hope these theaters come back and start doing that again, right?
yeah. I just went to the theater the first time in probably a year. I saw Young Washington the other day in a theater with my son,
Is that
and that was a
right?
real it was a real experience. You know, it cost $900 to go to the movies, but you know,
I know.
I took out
That's
a
it.
loan. have a
Without the popcorn, right?
have a movie ticket on layaway for the next one.
Yeah, because back in our day, like in the 90s, when movies was really popping, you'd
Oh
have to
yeah.
travel. Sometimes I remember I went and saw The Business of Strangers with Stockard Channing and Julia Stiles.
Uh-huh.
It was a small independent film that I heard good things about. I was living in Long Beach at the time. I had to drive way to Westwood because it was very few theaters playing the movie. But that was the
Yeah.
exciting part, finding an
Yeah.
independent movie you drive 30 or 40 minutes just to see because it's playing in this small theater and it's a really good movie called The Business of Strangers. And
Oh,
no
that's
one's
cool.
probably ever heard of it.
I haven't seen it, but I remember is Lemley? It's probably gone, right?
It's
Up at
it the Limley Theater. Oh gosh.
Crescent Heights upstairs, Crescent
I
Heights and Sunset.
I think that's gone too.
Dude, I would
Man.
see Napoleon Dynamite there, all these indie films. Like I
Uh-huh.
don't even know where I go in Nashville. I actually recently went to the Belmont College has a Belcourt Theater, and they show indies. And
Uh-huh.
the comedian Lana Turner was here, and she did a documentary on her husband Ralphie May, the comic that passed away. So I did
Okay.
see that
Okay.
recently, and that's considered an indie theater. But yeah, man, I don't. I just watch YouTube. I don't even watch sitcoms. I don't like, you know, I can't sit through any scripted stuff. Just
You're a
show it.
comic. What do you mean you don't like sitcoms? You can't
I hate
sitcoms. You're a
sitcoms.
sitcom star. Come
I
on. Don't
I
say
hate it.
that.
I hate canned laughter. I hate script. I can see when the joke is coming. The wife's always hot. The husband's always like a dork, you know, dumb doo doo doo, and his wife's too hot for him, and he's the dumbass. He's the dumbass with a good heart. It means well.
Yeah.
It goes all the way
It
back
makes,
to the honeymooners. That's out of the playbook.
but NBC and Netflix, Stevie D will take a sitcom offer if you offered it to
You
him.
know,
Okay.
the game has changed now. Back in the day, I'd be at the Laugh Factory and there'd be showcase night, and
Yeah.
there'd be showcase night for all the late night talk show comics, and you had to do your five clean 5 minutes, or there'd be a sitcom showcase. That
Yeah.
70s show or whatever's looking, which I can't believe I was never on that with my blow dried feathered hair.
And your Corvette.
I was born to be on the 70s show.
Trans Am. Sorry, Trans Am.
Boom, we got the Trans Am too. You know that.
Yeah. So speaking of the industry changing, and would you like to comment on the whole Warner Brothers Paramount merger? Because these are two studios that people used to have the competition. You go to Paramount, you get a different feel. I was one of those kids that used to drive around the studios when I got old enough to drive around the Paramount lot, drive around the Warner Brothers lot. I eventually was able to go on the lot and work on the lot. So what do you
Yeah.
think about this merger that is going to clearly, it's on hold right now. A judge put it on hold, but as someone who's been in the industry that knows how much it's evolved and changed for the good or the bad, what do you think about this?
I don't like monopolies, so I don't like the mergers. I think there's too much power, with the Netflix, the Bezos, they're all, Amazon's now doing content. So I like the way things used to be. Back in the early days, like in the 40s and 50s, there was the contract players. So if
Uh-huh.
you did movies for Paramount, you couldn't go to MGM.
Yes.
You were under like a 5-picture contract, 5-year contract, and then you got like a stipend. You got like
Mm-hmm.
a weekly couple grand to float you until the next picture. And you had to
Yeah,
get permission to go do a movie somewhere else.
that's
And
right.
now what really concerns me now is the AI stuff.
Yeah.
It was CG, and now AI is just, even here in Nashville, they're doing country songs with CG. With AI. I was talking to someone the other day trying to write a book, and I was like, dude, aren't you on Chat GPT? Just put your idea down, and I don't know how they can detect that now. I'm sure there's algorithms or whatever, but I wrote 2 books the hard way. Staying up late
Yeah.
at night, going to
Me
Coffee
too.
Bean at 5 o'clock in the morning, just writing my butt off. But I wish there was a shortcut at the time. When you're doing drafts and you're going back through your book and everything's here, and there's not much up there to start with.
Yeah, you wrote a book. You're an author. Talk about your book, because we always want to sell your book every time we talk.
Well, thank you. If there's any more available, but yeah, I did a book back in the day, about 10 years ago or something. I was doing comedy and pitching reality shows and hustling. Had two little babies, and I had a little bump with cancer, which I don't really think about anymore. But it inspired me to write the first book, which I'd never read a funny cancer book. I'd read Lance Armstrong's, and I just didn't like bum out. And as a comic, as Richard Pryor says, um, you know, adversity is the best form of comedy. Like, you use that as material, because
Mm-hmm.
people like to laugh at other people's anguish, other people's pain, you know. So yeah, I wrote the first book. Surprisingly, did very well. Went to number 5, I think, Amazon, comedy memoirs, and then wrote a second one. And now I don't know if my brain's empty now or what, but I haven't been that inspired to write another one yet. But maybe I will. Nashville
Now,
Chronicles.
you said you never read a funny book about cancer. Where can they find your book if some are left?
Well, it's called the Trans Am Diaries. So if they can probably go on Amazon or Google the Trans Am Diaries, Stevie D. It's called Trans Am Diaries, the Hillbillies Road Trip from stand-up comedy to cancer and back again. It's a lot.
Well, we want to give a shout out too, since you brought cancer up. We have a good friend, comic, actor, Mike Moreno. You can go to his YouTube, Mike Moreno Live, who's going through a health challenge with stage 4 brain cancer. And New Jersey's bad boy, Google him. And he's going through a challenge right now with cancer. We both are going through to
Yes.
see him like that. And I've known Mike Moreno for about going on 35 years. And I directed a feature film that Mike was in, and people don't know this. Mike is actually, even though he's a funny comic, he's actually a very good dramatic actor. I wrote and directed a independent feature where he played a retired hitman, and it was very dramatic. He's a well-trained actor as well as comic, and he's still being funny. So we want to give shouts out to him, and he's a good friend. He's done comedy on cruise ships. I was on a cruise with my family one time, had no idea he was there, and I'm standing in line for a hot dog on a Princess Cruises, and he pops up right on me like, "What the hell are you doing here?" I'm like,
Did he have his
"I'm here with
glasses
my
on? He was
family."
recording you?
No, he wasn't recording
Are
me.
you Dr. J?
Yeah, and Mike, we went to Canada together. Not Canada together. He was hosting a film festival that my film was in, and a lot of memories of him. So we want to wish him very well. When did you meet Mike?
So I met Mike back in the 90s doing comedy. We used to do a show on called Maskers Cabaret on 3rd Street. So he and I came up, Haha Comedy Club in North Hollywood. And I believe that's where I met you, maybe. Did you
Yeah,
Mike?
that it was a showcase Mike had, and that's how we met. And I've met a lot of people through Mike that way.
Yeah, Mike was actually a dramatic actor before he got into comedy. So he had done literally hundreds of commercials.
Yes.
And he came up with a lot of actors that went on to be famous, and he was a dramatic actor and then got into comedy.
He actually did a commercial. When I first met him, he shared his reel with me, and he's a little older than I am. You're a little older you're probably a lot older than me, Mike, if you're watching. And but he showed me his commercial reel, because he's been acting since, like you're right, since he was a kid. And there was this one commercial on his reel where he played this young cat who was moving out on his own, and the last line, he's calling his mom, asking her for advice, and he says, "Mom, how do I bake a potato?" And what was funny about that, I actually remembered seeing that commercial when I was like 12 years old, and I recognized it immediately. I said, "Oh crap, I'm now friends with the guy," because I never forgot that commercial. So
that's cool.
He's been around for years. He taught traffic school. I actually was in traffic school with him. I met him because a buddy of mine went to his comedy traffic school he used to teach.
He did, yeah, I remember that. Was that the Improv in Santa Monica, maybe, or one of them? Somewhere he taught, because I did it also. And the first thing he said when I was in class is, "Hey, everybody, this is my buddy. It's my comedy buddy, Stevie D. Hey." And then we had our first break, and he goes, "You're good. You passed. Get out of here." And I'm like, aren't they going to notice I'm gone? These poor suckers that have to sit here all day on a Saturday, and I do 40 minutes and take a break, and I'm out. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing."
So Mike Moreno Live is his Instagram, his YouTube actually, and so go out and give him some love. And I'm gonna fact check his my buddy Mike Moreno, because I'm so used to seeing him. And Mike's Instagram is Mike Moreno Live. Mike Moreno, Marino Live, Live. He's not just an extraordinary comedian and comic and actor. He's a amazing person, an amazing friend. Never had an out with him. You know how many people I've known for 35 years that I don't know anymore because we had an out or had a fight. Never had a fight, never had a disagreement with the guy. Always pleasant. One of the friends I've never had an out with Mike or never got upset with him. He never got upset with me.
Yeah, Mike is the one that got me back into comedy. I'd taken a break after the cancer, and I started pitching TV shows and writing. So I'm like, well, let me just pull back a little bit. I was a new dad. And he's like, "Hey, Steve, I'm going to be in town. Come and see me." I said, "Mike, I love you, buddy, but it's like the mafia. I'm out. And once I'm out, so let me just stay on the peripheral out here." And he's like, "No, come on, just come in." I was like, "Shh." I hadn't even stepped in a comedy club in several years because it's painful. You can't go watch other people perform, and that's your passion, and you're not doing it anymore, but you're telling yourself, "Oh, I don't need to perform anymore." Meanwhile, I've been showing off and getting in trouble and making people laugh since I was a kid, So it was always my dream. So I went to see him one night, and after the show, I said, "You son of a bitch." He said, "What?" I go, all right, I'm in. Let's do a show. Because he kept saying, no, just come back. I'm like, I can't do it, Mike. I was like, all right, let's book a show.
Well, every time, just when you thought you was out, he pulled you back in.
Pulled me back in. So he is the mafia, see?
Yeah, he is part of the mob. New Jersey's bad boy, Mike Moreno. Get well, buddy. We're praying for a miracle for you. Now, Stevie, before we go, where are you going to be performing at?
Well, funny you should ask, Dr. J. There's a big comedy club here. It's iconic, called Zanies.
Absolutely.
So they've had the stronghold. I talked about I don't like monopolies, but as long as I'm in the monopoly, I'm good with. They're the only comedy club in Nashville since like the 80s.
So if you were vice president of Paramount or Warner Brothers, you'd be fine with this merger.
I'm good. I'm good with it. Yeah, give me a bonus. Then I'm all good with it.
You're against monopolies. You're against monopolies you're not a part of, where you can't make no money. That's okay.
And I had never done Zanies before I moved here. So like the first year, I'm going back and forth to LA a lot. I mean, I was bouncing back and forth, and then I got into Zanies. I'm like, oh, I'm cool with them being the only comedy club now. So I do a monthly show there. I produce it and have a lot of big time guests. Got one coming up in August. I think it's going to be the 27th. Check the schedule. Stevie D and Wayne D. So Wayne D is a big radio guy, iHeartRadio. He's in markets all across the country.
Another monopoly.
Another monopoly. And he's talking about AIs taking over DJs, but that can be a separate conversation.
Yeah.
But we're going to have Wayne D's birthday bash. We did a show there last month, had the country star Chase Matthews show up. Chet Roberts from Three Doors Down. It was only his second time ever doing stand-up, so that was fun. So we're going to have some special guests. It looks like it's going to be August 27th at Zanies. Check the calendar or check my Instagram.
If it changes, just come back on and with me, and we'll change the date. We'll make the adjustments, and hopefully we'll have you backstage there, and we can do some live stuff from that moment and see you on stage performing on live. We can do whatever we want. We have followers now. We have subscribers. Let's go, baby. We can make this happen.
I'm not shadow banned anymore.
You're not shadow banned. You've been Dr. J approved. Stevie D, give your Instagram everything again.
Stamp of approval. Stevie D rocks at Instagram. Stevie D anywhere. The book is the Trans Am Diaries. Be at Zanies next month. Zanies Lab. And good to see you again, Dr. J. Congrats on going viral.
Thank you very much. I couldn't have done it without you and your kids.
Cheers, buddy.
Giving you the props.
It was that little cube in the corner that really set it off when I was right in the corner.
That little cube, that little face, it was like an ebony and ivory connection right there. That's what made it go viral. You know, black and white together, working together.
Beautiful harmony here.
Harmony. He's Stevie D. Check him out. I'm Dr. J. I'm out. Thanks, Stevie.
Thanks, my man.